The opinions in this podcast are all our own.
But the businesses are real chamber members.
It's a chamber chat.
Coming to you from Wahoo, Nebraska. Chamber Chat with Kate
And Kat.
Welcome to Chamber Chat with Kate.
And Kat. I'm Catherine Nygren.
And I'm Kate DeCoste. This podcast is everything Wahoo Chamber of Commerce. So, Kat, I have to say a little, I don't know, what do you say? Is it a retract? I don't know, like, what's the word?
Uh-oh.
So I had a listener reach out and remind me that Dollar General was not Sears. It was J.C. Penney's.
Oh, yes.
And I knew that, and I think I thought I was saying J.C. Penney's, but the word Sears was coming out of my mouth.
Uh-huh.
But we did have a Sears.
Okay.
It was located where Simon's Antique is now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I knew that.
And yeah, so that's not where the that's not where the haunted house was. It was
In the Dollar General
It was
building.
in the Dollar General that used to be JCPenney's when I was a kid.
Gotcha. Well, I'm glad somebody caught it and told us.
I know. And I'm glad that we got listeners reaching out and saying like, hey.
Guess paying attention.
Yeah. So I got a little Wahoo one fact. What was that about?
one fact.
I don't know about that. One fact. Wahoo.
What's in your water bottle over there?
I know. I swear it's just water. The fun fact of Wahoo today. I wanted, since we're just a couple of days away from Halloween when this comes out.
Mm-hmm.
The fun fact is, what was the original name of Sunrise Cemetery?
Ooh, good question. I know there's different parts to Sunrise Cemetery. There's like
there is.
There's like the St. Francis part.
Yes.
Was it like Knights of Honor?
Oh my gosh. Yes. I had to write it down because I was like, I'm going to forget. Like, sometimes I don't put it, on our script so that you don't know. So you have to actually like try to guess.
Uh-huh.
And usually I'll have it in my head, but I was like, I'm going to totally forget. But you are correct. It was K and H for Knights of Honor with, K, Knights.
A Knight.
A Knight of Honor. Yeah, and I don't know, when I was looking that up, I don't know when it was changed to Sunrise. So if anybody knows, let us, having our listeners reach out to us is awesome. So
that's right.
Let us know.
We might have to call the museum on that one. I wonder if Aaron
they would
know.
Aaron would probably know that.
Yeah, I feel like I've read it. So we take a lot of stuff to the cemetery for Memorial Day.
Oh,
and
yeah,
so
that's right.
you can go on the city's website and you can print off a map to the cemetery.
Yes.
And there's the alphabetized index to the cemetery.
Okay.
So you can like find like a burial and like the coordinates of that.
Sure.
And so we've printed off a lot of maps.
Oh, I bet.
For all the cemetery placements. And I think it says Knights of Honor somewhere on that map. So that's where I pulled that from.
I'm wondering if they're now, the next time I go to the cemetery, I do want to like look to see if it says it anywhere.
Oh.
I know it's not on like, like when you like the arch, because there's like the St. Francis one and that, but now I really would like to see.
Yeah, because I think it says Sunrise on the fence.
It does.
Interesting.
So yeah, I'm kind of interested just to see if it's somewhere around.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah. And if it is, maybe that'd be a fun thing to do for like the scavenger hunt on the app.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, do like a cemetery.
I like it. Did I ever show you the picture my friend Mary took of the Kirkman Memorial?
You did. And then I was like sending it to people that are like my family, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
look at this.
The way she took, there's only one mausoleum
in
Sunrise.
Right.
And the way she took the picture, there's like these weird shadowy orb, like some lights that don't make sense.
Right.
On the shadow of the thing.
Well, and I swear, and I don't know, tell me if you saw this. I swear I could see like an it wasn't really like a shadow. I mean, like a shadowy figure, or almost like it looked. Could even look like a well, yeah, I guess it is more like a shadow. Of like a man and like a little girl almost.
On that picture?
Yes.
Oh, I'll have to look at it
Like
again.
that it looks like it's in the glass, and I was like, what is that? And it looked like the man was wearing a hat that had like the brim.
Like
and maybe I'm just totally making that up, but I was like, oh my gosh, I see a dude. And then I was like,
I'm going to totally go back and look at it.
I'm going to have to, when we're done, I'm going to have to we'll have to look at it.
Yeah, because I love me some cemeteries. I know it's super
too.
weird, but like the history
I do too.
and the old gravestones and all like the significance that they had carved into the gravestones, like all the symbolism.
Yes.
I think it's fascinating.
Oh, I think so too.
So we should think about a trip out.
Anytime. Oh, yeah.
Like a little graveyard walk. It might be kind of fun sometime.
Oh, that would be really fun. When we went to New Orleans, we went on a like graveyard tour. Ooh. And it was with like someone that was supposed to know like spirits and all of that. But just the it was just interesting to me because New Orleans is on, it's water, like, so they can't like
bury in the ground.
them.
They're all like
yes,
I think
and they put people like on top of people, and and I know you could do that here too. You could bury people on top of each other, but you're underground. It was just very interesting to me.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
So yeah, let's figure out a date for a cemetery ghost tour or something.
To be continued.
Yes. So, Kat, do you have a poll question for us today?
I do have a poll question for you. When you were a kid, did you ever bob for apples? And did you like it?
I love that like, did you ever? I'm like, okay. And then the second part of that.
It's a two-part.
It is a two-parter. I did, like when I was, like for like a Halloween party, I remember doing it, and I could never do it. Like I could never I didn't like it because I could never get my mouth around an apple, so I just got wet for nothing. And if I can totally tell you too that I probably just was laughing the whole time. So then it was like,
you laughing?
Me
all the
laughing?
time? Weird.
I know. Shocker.
Nice.
What about you?
I had the same experience. I tried and failed miserably.
Yes.
Kind of that drowning feeling
yes.
of like sticking your head in the water. So I'm just curious to know if any of the listeners are successful apple bobbers.
And like when I think about stuff like that, as a kid, I'm like, that's what you do. It's Halloween.
Yes.
You bob for an apple. And now as an adult, I'm like, why?
How did that ever get to be a thing?
Yes.
Where we're
like,
going to fill some
made
water.
that up?
Yeah. We're going to fill a tub of water, float some apples, and take turns trying to catch
drown
one in
ourselves.
Teeth.
Oh, that's funny. So listeners, let us know if you did that as a kid, and if you were successful, and if you liked it or not, or if you thought you might drown.
That was your favorite Halloween game.
Yes.
So yeah, that's my poll.
I liked it. Now it's time for our segment we call Mailbag Questions.
Cue that music.
Mailbag time.
Open that bag.
All right, today's question comes from Erin, and she writes, if I'm not a chamber member, can I still receive the email blasts?
Well, that's a really good question, because, I think some people do think that you have to be a member to get on the email. But no, anyone can receive the email, and I think chamber members, especially business members, would want... I don't know if you can hear that, but my dog is taking a drink of water.
Thirsty puppy.
Yes. But I feel like chamber members, business members in Wahoo would like anyone and everyone to get the email, because then that means more people knowing what's happening in Wahoo at their business, and it's just that communication.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and if you're a business, I'm not sure if our businesses all know this, but you can request to have a blast send out from the office.
Right.
So all you do is take your JPEG or your PDF of your information and send it to Jen, give her 3 or 4 days heads up notice, and then she can schedule it for whatever day that you want it sent out. So that is a perk to being a member of the chamber.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely a perk for both. So if you would like to receive those emails, or if you're a business and you would like your email blast to be sent out, you can just email Jen. She loves emails. And you can email her at jwoida. What happened?
I wasn't going to look at you.
And then I just messed that up.
It was great.
I'll just start with the emails. Like, yeah, because I'm totally going to say about emails now, like all the time. So if you want to receive emails from the chamber, or if you are a business and you are a chamber member and you want your emails to be sent out, you just need to email Jen at the office, jwoida@wahoo.ne.us. And Jen absolutely loves to get emails, so please give her a shout out anytime, day or night.
Well, thank you for the question, Erin. And if you have a question for us, please email wahoochamberchat@gmail.com or message our Facebook page.
Yeah, thank you. So, Kat, we were on a little adventure last week.
We did go on an adventure last week.
And when you guys hear this, it'll be like 2 weeks. But for us, it was not very long ago. We were invited to attend and present at the Nebraska Chamber Association. And that was held in Beatrice. So wasn't too far, but it was a little bit of a jaunt.
It was a jaunt. Yeah, it was their fall conference.
Yes.
And so it was a couple nights and a couple days. So we went down Wednesday night, had a little mixer. We met up at the Stonebridge Brewing.
Stonebridge, Stone Hollow.
Stone Hollow? Stone Hollow.
Stone Hollow?
Stone Hollow.
I think so.
I think you're right.
I think. 'Cause it was like Stone Hollow, and then downstairs was the mechanical room.
Oh, yes.
Their little speakeasy,
and they had
which
a
was
speakeasy
super
in
fun.
the basement.
Yes.
And it was trivia night at the brewery.
Yes.
So it was a ton of fun. And that was kind of our intro night there to kind of meet up with people. And we didn't know anybody. Like Teresa and Jennifer knew people from other chambers, but we have not met those people.
Right.
So that was all new to us.
Yeah. And it was very funny because we had someone, I don't know if you might have been going to get your food, or you were in the restroom or getting a drink or something. Mm-hmm. But one of the other chambers came up and they were like, "So are you Kate or Kat?"
Oh, from the podcast?
From the podcast, yes.
Oh, that's funny.
Because I think he knew that Wahoo was bringing people, because usually it's just going to be who attend this are going to be people that are staff in the office. They don't usually bring their board members. And a lot of people actually then thought, if they didn't realize we were board members, they thought we were staff.
Yes, we had to correct him on that.
Yes. But yes, I felt like a celebrity when he was like, "Hey, are you Kate or Kat from the podcast?"
I totally missed that.
Yeah.
I hope he got a sticker.
Yes, I bet he. Oh yeah, he did. I do remember seeing it.
Was that Rick Nelson?
Yes,
from NBC?
yes,
Yeah.
it was Rick.
Huge shout out to Rick Nelson for being a listener of the podcast.
That's right. I totally forgot that it was Rick. I just remember feeling like a celeb. So thanks, Rick, for making me feel like a celebrity. And we presented on Friday morning, and we presented about our board engagement, and then the big thing people really wanted to know about, and the most questions we had was about the podcast, how we did it.
How to start a podcast.
Basically, yes. How to start a podcast, pricing,
Equipment.
all that stuff. How many times do we do it?
Recording schedule.
Yeah. A lot. It was a lot of questions for it, which was fun to talk about it. And there were some things where I was like, oh yeah, we do that.
Well, and I'm hoping to see some podcasts pop up from some of the people that we talk to. I know Ord does a podcast, but there's not a lot of chamber type podcasts in Nebraska that I've seen. So I'm hoping some of these places will start one up so we can start listening to them.
Yeah. And I know, because there are other ones in the United States that you and I like did actually hear. But once we were like thinking about it, doing it, and I think I had seen one or heard one that was in Norfolk, Virginia. And that's what kind of got us thinking about doing it. And Nebraska doesn't have very many, and it is kind of a fun thing. And I think just by all the questions that we had, I think people were very intrigued, and I think they want to start
there's
one.
Definitely a lot of interest across the room on starting a podcast.
Yeah.
When you said Norfolk, Virginia, that made me think of like one of the first opening things that we did for a mixer. We went around the room and talked about like the weirdest phone calls the chamber office had ever gotten. Because, like the chamber is kind of like the connector of the community. Like if anybody has any sort of question, weird or not, they call the chamber office, right?
Right.
And there was a couple people, like the Norfolk office was like, they get calls thinking it's Norfolk, Virginia, and like the Seward chamber would get calls from like Seward, Alaska.
Oh yeah, Alaska. I was gonna say, I was like, what state was that in? Yes. I think is there a Wahoo anywhere else? I don't
think so.
I know our slogan was "There's only one," so I would hope that meant that there was only one. But if there wasn't, I would totally, if I was Norfolk or if I was Seward, and maybe they have done this, but I would totally do a thing where they like have some kind of like vacation.
Oh yeah, some sort of like exchange program. Where
it's like, where you can like go to. Yes, I think that would be so fun, especially because the phone calls we were hearing about, that those chambers were getting calls as well. Like, it's not just Nebraska getting the calls.
Yeah.
That Virginia and Alaska are getting those calls.
Yes.
So I feel like the office probably has a little camaraderie.
Big words.
Very big words. And so I think they should do some kind of thing with maybe with Colette.
Yes.
With traveling.
Absolutely. So what was your favorite part of the conference, Kate? What stands out?
I can't say the drinking.
No, you can't say the. No, it wasn't drinking. It was socializing.
It was socializing. Oh, I'm sorry. Socializing.
Yes, it was some social time.
Okay, so I'll say two things. My shoes sound like I'm having issues with my bowels, but I am not. I would say two things. One was just because it was funny, and then the other, like a takeaway, I guess. The funny thing was how it had rained so much.
Oh, yes.
And we had a social and dinner at the bowling alley there, and it just rained and rained the whole time, like before we got there.
Oh, yeah.
While we were there. And when we were leaving, Jen was nice enough to like run out because she had a coat with a hood. She ran out, got her car, and like pulled up, and then we thought we were just gonna like jump over a puddle that was by the sidewalk, but instead the entire parking lot was a sidewalk, was a puddle.
It was.
And I could hear, like, I started laughing. I could hear you behind me laughing, Teresa laughing, and being like, "Be careful," like, because we were just not knee deep, but like ankle deep.
Oh yeah, it was pretty deep
in water. And then my takeaway is, and I know you and I both talked about this, I loved the creative district. Is that what they call it?
Oh yeah, the creative district program.
I loved hearing about that. I know you and I have talked about we need to do something like that in Wahoo. It'd be really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I think just hearing about how Ashland and Benson and Beatrice, how they have incorporated that. And so that was probably my favorite session.
Yeah, that was a really good one. And it's inspiring to see what people are doing around. We even drove to the Beatrice murals so we could check them out too.
Yeah.
After we were told where they were.
Yes, where they were.
Where they were.
What was your favorite part of the conference?
I think just being able to network with different people in different offices kind of from across the state. We met with people from western Nebraska and north of us and south of us, and so
yes,
it was just kind of fun. And of course, like having those opportunities like at the brewery or at the bowling alley where it's that relaxed cold drink in your hand,
yes.
And like having that time to like network in a casual basis and kind of talk about like what's your challenges and have you ever had this happen and what do you do when this happens, and it was just kind of fun to like know that we kind of all face the same challenges and maybe to get some inspiration on how other people have tackled their challenges.
Yes, yeah, I agree.
And yeah, I've got a notebook full of notes, so I need to go back through and
read through
and commit them to memory. But yeah, it was a really great trip. I'm so glad we went, and it was such an honor to be asked to be speakers.
It really was. And I was glad that we had some merch to hand out after our presentation.
That's right. After our program, people got some Wahoo stickers and Wahoo pens.
Yes. So, Kat, we do have some events coming up. This is like our, it's the fourth quarter of a football game.
It is.
It's like everything is happening in a couple months here, basically.
All the chips are down.
Yes.
So what do we got coming up?
So we have first coming up, just, when this podcast drops, just in a couple of days, will be Boo and Wahoo on October 31st, and that will be held at the Saunders County Fairgrounds from 3:30 to 6, I believe.
Awesome.
3:30. I know the start time is 3:30. I looked it up. Now I can't remember if it's 6 or 6:30 of the ending, but you can find that on our Facebook page and on the We Are Wahoo app.
Absolutely. And did I see on the flyer this year you can bring a can of food to donate?
You can.
When you get there.
Yes.
So that's pretty awesome.
Yes. So when you're walking up, you will get a bag. You don't have to bring a bag. They prefer you actually not to bring your own. They will provide a official Boo and Wahoo bag. And First Bank of Nebraska, I believe, is the one that sponsors those bags.
I believe so.
So they will be giving those out right at the entry, and that's where you can drop off your canned food if you would like, and that will go right to our food pantry
our
here.
Local food pantry, yeah. And it's such a great time to donate to the food pantry. Yes. I mean, once you think of Halloween, like right on the heels of Halloween, it's Thanksgiving, it's Christmas, and it's just a great time that people are going to need some extra help. So
yes.
Let's get those shelves stocked.
Yeah. So then, do you want to let us know about this next event, Kat?
So then after Boo and Wahoo, we've got our Merry Markets, and that's happening Friday night, November 10th, and Saturday, November 11th. And it's my favorite time of the year because it's kind of our kickoff to the holiday shopping. Our garlands are up decorating downtown, and everybody's just in a festive mood. And there's something about that Friday night shopping when everything's all twinkly and sparkly, and usually the time changes happen by then, so it gets dark early.
Yes, that's right. And I think there was it last year or was it the year before or was it both? That we had like little flurries in the air. And so it just made it even more special. It's always cold. I feel like at least that Friday is pretty chilly.
Yes.
But it does make that magical time, like you said. And I feel like all the shops, I know for sure yours, decorates, and
when you walk in,
it's definitely merry in there. It's not your order, it's not fall anymore. And I love that, and it does get you more in the mood to shop. I don't know why the atmosphere, all of that just makes you like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna get my shopping done.
It's the experience of it.
It is.
And when people come, they'll have to, we've got a little station where we're going to be handing out gift bags. So we won't tell you what's in them yet.
Right.
But
There's a
you'll
surprise.
make sure you want to have them. They're a really fun surprise that we've added this year.
Yes.
And then you've got a lot of stuff planned for the next event.
Yes. So December 2nd, we have Christmas in the Who. And it's all basically Christmas time.
Oh, yeah, you've got a whole day planned.
Yes. Definitely family friendly. It is all day. Like the bakery will start their regular business hours. They will have a special treat that you can buy. It'll be either popcorn or a cupcake that's just going to be special that day for Christmas in the Who. And so that like starts at like 6 a.m. They open at 6 a.m.
Oh yeah, it's before I get up.
I was gonna say, yeah, me too. So yeah, so Christmas in the Who is literally starting at 6 a.m.
Sweet, go Christina.
I know. And we will have things going on throughout the day, throughout town. And then the late afternoon, we'll have a block party, and that'll go into the evening with our parade at 6 o'clock and the tree lighting. So yeah, it's going to be all sorts of fun. So if there's stuff there, I know that there's sometimes people, they have little ones and the daytime things are plenty for them. And some might just want to do the nighttime stuff. So there's definitely a lot for everyone, and a lot of the events, some things are free. There's free events. There's giveaways that are actually free that people, businesses are giving out. And most of the things that if there is payment with it, it is a fundraiser.
Oh, nice.
I won't give away everything, but I can give away that the Boy Scouts here in Wahoo, the troop, they're going to be doing a s'more station.
Ooh,
yes,
nice.
for the block party. And so they're going to be manning the fire pits and making sure the fire is still going. And then they're going to be selling little s'mores kits.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So then that money will go straight to them and help them out.
That's awesome. And you're going to have a whole schedule. I've seen you working on this big old schedule of everything happening at every time. So you'll be publishing that prior to the event so people can get their hands on it.
Yes. So when this airs, the date will be passed, but we are having an early date to get on the schedule because we will be having someone design them, so it's just fun and whimsical and get you in the spirit. And then you have something. That was one of the things last year we did not have, and there were times where people just didn't know where things
all the things that were going on. Yeah, absolutely.
And we definitely have a lot more going on this year as well. So
it's exciting stuff.
Yes.
It's getting me all choked up, Kate, with all of your excitement.
So yeah, we'll talk more about it, but that's
details to come.
Yes.
All the fun things.
Oh, Gizmo, is it time for us to sign off?
Is he needing some attention?
Yes, maybe he has to go outside.
Well, in that case, I think we're probably done.
Yes, I think, yes. As always, thank you for listening today, and don't forget
to keep it local, friends.
This has been a Chamber Chat
With Kate.
and Kat.
See you next time.
let's do a little hot mic action.
Love me some hot mic action.
Me too.